Bienvenidos a Sobremesa, a series inspired by the joy of staying a while we linger, laugh, and listen just a little bit longer. So pull up a chair, and we're glad you're here.
Today we have two special guests, starting off with Arnie Tex, also known as Arnie Tex, is a Texas-based pitmaster, content creator, barbecue competitor who has won over 100 combined Grand Championship and Reserve Grand Championship titles. No big deal. He's also been part of our backyard asadas, and even though we are not related, we still consider him one of our favorite tios.
Boom! 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 Boom!
Thank you for joining us, Arnie.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor and a pleasure.
Cristina Everett is the co-owner of Ensenada Tacos in Austin, Texas, where she makes amazing fish tacos alongside her mother. She's also been a part of our Siete backyard asadas, cooking with all 3 generations of her family, including her daughter. We love the energy and passion she brings to everything she does. Thanks for being here, Cristina.
Thank you for having me. So excited to be here.
All right, what is your personal bio in exactly siete, or 7 words?
Farm boy, pitmaster, content creator, and just cook.
For me, it'd be mother, creative, a foodie, resilient, loyal, and with a big heart.
Arnie, how long have you been grilling?
You know, I want to say I started more or less right after I got married, so do I really have to say it's 42 years?
Oh, wow.
About 42 years, más o menos. Yeah. My uncle gifted me and Terry a little grill for a wedding gift, and it was just a little tabletop grill, right? And so you don't pay a lot of attention when you're at home because the tios and the dads do it, right? But then you're at home by yourself.
Yeah,
You're like,
you
okay, I want to eat some good fajitas or a carne asada, right? So I have to learn how to do it. So that little grill came in clutch, and I started to cook then. And then we would invite friends. I've always liked to entertain and invite people to our house, right? And they'd be like, oh, it's so good. And I'd be like, oh, I didn't think it was that good. Next time it's going to be better, right? So I've always wanted to cook better and better and better, and which I guess that's the competitive nature and how I got into that too, you know?
Yes.
But yeah, that's how long. It's been a while.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's so important, you know, what you said, because that happened to me too. And that's why every time I'd host, I have people, ¿qué llevo? You know, and I'm like, oh, just bring the drinks and bring, you know, because I like making this. Because for me, it's always about, I hope they like it, you know, and then they do. And then like you just said, you know, I'm like, I'm going to do it better next time. I'm going to add this to this salad, or I'm going to like a chayote salad. I've actually made the chayote salad for the Siete event, you know, and stuff like that. It's different, but it's just like, you know, bringing different things to the table, and just, it's very like satisfying to like see people like your food, you know,
That's the best part.
That's the best part.
Yeah, I was listening to somebody, I can't remember who it was, and they were saying they're like the most satisfying part about doing something that you love is just seeing the joy bring someone else.
Yes,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah, and so it's with food, it's just the same.
Absolutely.
That's the best part.
I was going to say that too. We're all on the same wavelength here. What do you look for, you know? What do you
their
look for when,
faces.
when people are trying your food? You're over here like not looking right, but you're like, you are looking.
Yes,
And you want to see the smile or the
yes,
right?
exactly. Like, está bien bueno, you know, like
Yes.
so good.
And that makes you happy.
Yes,
right?
that makes you, that gives you the
Yes,
joy. That
gives you
gives you that
joy.
like, yes,
Absolutely.
you know, 3 hours making all this,
Yeah.
it was worth it.
Absolutely.
Could you tell us one of your favorite backyard asada or grilling memories?
I've mentioned this one several times, right? And like we were kids running around all over the place, but I remember I have this vision of my grandfather, who was a real short man, shorter than me, just cooking some short ribs on the grill, and I could smell the grease and the meat, smell the aroma on the carbon and stuff. And I was like, man, that smelled so good. Even as a kid, I was like, oh, that smells so good. And that's one of my all-time favorite movies. So I always mention that because I never forgot that.
I think my memory is going to be a funny one, but I think it would be, we were having a carne asada, and I walked out with some dishes, and I saw Cristel sitting at the end of the table, and her face was just like very mad. And I was just like, what happened? Like, you know, the kids, and she's like, she turned around and she looked at me, she's like, this meat is overcooked and it has no fat in it. And I was like, that's why your face is like that. Then I said, wow, this kid, I taught her to eat pretty well.
Yeah, sounds
That's
like
why
it.
she was so upset. I thought she got into a fight with some kids or something. And she turned around and looked at me. So I think that I will always treasure that because I thought it was something so bad. It was just because her meat was overcooked and it had no fat in it.
Wow.
And she likes her meat, done right, So I think that would be a memory that, that I taught my kid how to eat meat right.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
All right, tell us one grilling tip that you have.
For grilling, carne asada, whatever, it's always fire control. That's the number one most important thing. Besides having all the good meat and seasoning and adobo and marinade, none of that's going to matter if you burn it or if it's half raw because you didn't have enough fire. So it's all about fire control. If you can master the fire in the air, you're going to be a great carne asada expert for sure.
I think for me, I always say this, and this is because it's something that I learned, and I feel that sometimes people who don't know about grilling that much, it's like, don't put your steak cold, because sometimes, like I would take it out of the fridge and put it on the, it makes my meat all hard, so it's just let it sit with the rubs and like get to temperature, and then you put it on the grill because I think that it's something that I used to do that I think could be such a great tip for people who are, starting to grill too, like don't do that.
Yeah, and I feel like grilling is so different from cooking, and like it takes so much more technique, and I feel like it's one of those things that you have to learn, like through a battle. Like you have to learn through your mistakes.
Absolutely.
Like they say, you have to do it yourself to learn from your mistakes.
Yes.
And you just like, okay, I would do it that way this time.
Yeah, and so for like anybody, I think wanting to learn how to grill, like just don't feel like it's not gonna it's gonna work the first time, right? Like
yes,
it might take a few tries.
Yeah.
I actually would love to admit that I've never grilled by myself. I've been a part of the carne asada.
Next time that we do it here, I'm gonna pull you from the office.
But the courage to just turn something on and have someone try it is definitely something I'm still in the journey of learning.
You'll never know till I try it, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
What do backyard asadas mean to you?
It means family and community. For me, that's what it means, just coming together and being able to share something in common together, because who doesn't like a carne asada, right? Like, who doesn't? Like, it's like something that you'll love and put so much passion into it. Even if you have to bring the drinks, you bring like all the drinks that you have to bring, or you go out and buy like, your favorite pieces of steak or chicken or anything, chorizo you want to put on the grill. I just think it's family and community coming together. That's what it feels to me.
Totally agree with Cristina. It's about family and it's about traditions and all that stuff. It's a fun thing to do. That's true. It just means like I'm in my happy place. When I'm by the fire and by the grill, that's my happy place.
What's one exciting thing you've got coming up that you'd like to share with our community?
I'm not supposed to tell.
Or invite others to.
We're working to just get better at everything we do and try to learn as much as we can. I think, I grew up in the Valley in South Texas, and so our traditions are everything we've been talking about. But I've learned so much doing what I do because I've started to do a lot more research. So for me, it's about learning more and trying to find out more about my culture and our history and all that. I've gotten so much into the whole history thing, so I'm trying to learn more about that, and maybe there's a book too somewhere in the works.
That's so cool.
And it will be, because I wanted my book to be more carne asada focused, but our channel indicated that people wanted to see more home cooking,
culture,
right?
yes.
Culture, yeah. But my whole background has been fire, so if we get to do another book, it's going to be more fire.
That's amazing.
That is so cool. What's coming up for me is like I'm helping out my sister. She started a new project that you'll soon be seeing us on stores. It's a ready-to-drink beverage. So Hillo, it's a carajillo in a can. So that's what's next for us. So you're probably going to be seeing all our faces out there promoting our drinks. So
That's awesome.
we just thank so much the community, of Austin, who's been so supportive. And like I always say, and I'll give props to our little food truck and, you know, the women in the food truck that don't underestimate the power of a food truck. You know, it's brought so many blessings to our life, to our family, and that we can venture into doing different things, you know. So from, you know, managing my daughter to the food truck to my own company and to also, you know, starting now, you know, this journey with Hio, it's gonna be really
That's so awesome.
Wow, that's amazing.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah,
that's
So
amazing.
Look
you
forward
guys
to
can
that.
see us, and we'll be sharing all that with you guys.
Yes,
So
yes.
it'll be so much fun.
That'll be
That's
awesome.
amazing.
Thank you both for being here with us. And thank you for joining us at the table. We can't wait to sit back, have a chat, and sobremesa with you next time. Nos vemos. Salud.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Salud.
Salud.
Salud.